Alright, this is my sugar glider setup. Probably the dimensions of this cage is 2.5 feet wide and 3 feet tall. I got this cage from eBay, probably about 80 bucks. It's typically a bird cage. But this is the layout that I have. I also have a few pouches with a little strings in here that are knotted up. Believe it or not, they can actually unwrap it. I also have a few wheels and the little cloths that you see in the enclosure. I kind of rub that on my face or whatever, so they can get my scent or whatever. And the good thing about this cage is it's really secure. It also has latches, so I can also put the food there. Food bowl here, 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 and here, and one over there in the corner, and also one in the corner. What I'll try to do is I'll try to even it out with everything. They mainly eat stuff like fruits and vegetables and all that other stuff. As far as their diet, as I would probably what you call it treats, maybe super worms, or here's what I like to give them: the sweet potatoes, or the banana and strawberry. But that's as far as treats, but they mainly love apples, so that's pretty much what I'll give them, or maybe some peas, or anything that's pretty much good for them. I have everything written down, but unfortunately it's not in front of me at the moment. Here's pretty much the exercise wheel that I got from online. It's also a nail trimmer too, and this is the nail trimmer that goes in there. I actually took it out. I had it in there for a while. I also have to clean it, but this is good. It's actually better than using the toenail clipper to clip their nails. This is 10 times more better than actually using the toenail clipper, because you can actually do more harm to them with using the toenail clipper. They're also in potty training stages. This is what I use to sterilize them so they can urinate or go poop or do whatever they need to do. And this is not, that's for something else. As far as the pouches, this is what I use to just normally put them in and walk around the house in. They're pretty much, they're really fun, and probably the most funny thing about them is their little scare tactics. It's really funny, and if you ever get a chance to hear it, it just brightens your day. I mean, it is hilarious to hear them. They're also known as pretty much sugar bears, and a lot of people use the term sugar gliders, but the actual term is sugar bears. This is also one of the other pouches that I also have. Yes, I know it's bears, but no bad jokes against the bears, people. All right, just a joke. But I also have one boy and one girl. I would say that depending on what your work schedule is, it's better to get them as in pairs, so they can be more, as just give them somebody to play with, so to speak. Because leaving them by themselves, depending on what your day is, they go off feeding, they get stressed, and eventually they die. So I would probably say pair them up. I don't know if, as far as the dying part is sufficient or a fact. I do know that they do go off feeding and maybe go into depression mode, but I would probably still say go with 2 instead of 1. I know most people have 2, and I chose to have 2 because of my work schedule, and the first thing I do when I get home is come grab these guys. One is mature, and the other one is, I think, maybe 4 months. I was supposed to get 2 babies, but unfortunately something happened with the other one and we got a replacement from the breeder. But these guys are really awesome, and I'm gonna try and pull them out, but I don't want them to run all the way around and run through the house. So but they are really awesome. And they will hook onto everything. Very good jumpers too. And you just got to give them time to warm up to you. Yeah, they might like urinate on you or poop on you, but that's the reason why you want to get them going before you actually handle them or whatever. And yes, the first thing they will do is probably look for a pocket, something secure. I mean, that's why I also added the tiles around, just to give them a sense of security and also to block out the light. You don't want too much light in their face. This is my boy here. This is Alvin. The other one I took out was Jeanette. She's a girl. And yes, as babies, these guys, they do bite. And sometimes they tend to bite or tend to nibble, not as far as bite. It's like your fingers reaching in a pocket or whatever. All they see is tentacles. So yeah, they're gonna bite at it or nibble at it or whatever. This guy doesn't want to come out. But when they get in their cage, like the first thing they do is they either go run into a pouch over here, or they'll go in this one. They mainly like to be in this one, so they're pretty much running there. Or they'll go to a little water. You see, she's really curious right now. Go, come on. Usually when the boy is in there, he goes so fast. You see her, how she just sits out. She'll sit like that while the wheel is still going. So sometimes she's weird. And yeah, they also like to chew up some of the wood too. So they do a pretty bunch of weird stuff. I don't know why, but it's just fun to see. And what I try to usually do is keep them up at night. I worked out a schedule with them. I have them up at night while I'm here, and at a certain time when it's time to go to bed, they know it's bedtime. I usually hear the wheel going in the middle of the night, and during the day they're asleep. So when I come home, they're wide awake. And it's pretty much okay. So apparently my phone cut off while I was in the process of making a video. So here I am back again to finish off what I was talking about. Now I'm not quite sure where I left off at, but to kind of elaborate on a few things that a lot of people had questions on, and just general questions about sugar gliders and as far as the diet and what they eat. First and foremost, make sure you do really good research. I picked up a book that was written by, I think her name was Caroline. She is an expert and veterinarian for sugar gliders. You can also get this book online. I think it's Amazon.com. It's probably no more than about maybe $5 or $10. It's got great information, and as far as the feeding, it give you everything in detail information. But what I like to use, what I picked up out the book, is they also eat baby food, and it is really healthy for them and nutritious. Just a couple of ones that I picked up. You can probably use like maybe not even a teaspoon, a very small spoon, and let them eat it out the spoon. It's actually healthier for them. I've seen a lot of people do worms. I know I talked about worms earlier, but I wanted to elaborate on it a little bit. As far as worms or earthworms or any other, what's that, super worms, I think I've mentioned that. What you want to do is give them one a day as a treat, but not to the point as it's where you got this big old dish bowl and it's like a buffet to them. You don't want to do it like that, because then your sugar glider becomes obese. Then that means he's gonna stop eating the food that's more healthier for them. Now, I'm not saying don't give it to them or don't feed them crickets. No, because sugar gliders love insects. But at the same time, you have to also make sure that they're eating their regular
healthier food. Me personally, I think it's bad. I'm not for all the insects things, and I know that they eat them in the wild. But as a treat, people, as a treat, like a treat that you would give a dog for obeying a command. A treat means one, not a big dish bowl of insects. Because once the vet sees your sugar glider for any problems, or you do your randomly checkups, they can spot that, and they'll let you know that you're feeding too many treats. You want to stick with the nutritious food. Yeah, the insects are good and all, but you want to make sure they're eating their regular food as well. And I would say is make sure they're getting their exercise as well. What I like to do is also I got one of these little hamster containers. I also have a couple of them bigger than this, but I just let them roam around the house, run in it for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then just let them play. Like, create stuff that's high enough. Let them jump, let them run, let them do what they need to do. But some of the stuff that I hear in the videos that I see, I mean, it's okay to do what you're doing. I'm not going to tell nobody how to take care of their pet. Because at the end of the day, you are the one that's taking care of them. You are the one that's responsible for them. So I'm not going to be that person to tell somebody how to take care of their animal. Now, I can maybe throw out suggestions, but I never judge anybody. I'm not judgmental or anything, but I'm just saying be cautious of what you're doing if you want to have a more healthier pet. As far as letting them like just roam around the house or play or whatever, if you're a little afraid of what they might get into or what they might do, I would probably say get a leash. That way you can catch them. And when I ordered what I got, as far as my booklet and package, it gave me this leash. Now what you want to do is like put it around your neck or whatever, but you want to make it tight but not too tight, loose but not too loose, perfect enough so it can be able to move their head or whatever. I like the leash personally because when I'm let them roam the house or whatever and I'm playing with them, you don't want to chase them, because in any event, yeah, they do get scared, they might get frightened, and you might step on them. So please keep in mind that when they're out, just be careful. And I saw that another person who actually was, I wouldn't say like giving them a bowl of water, but like giving them a bath per se. Now, sugar gliders cannot swim, so I wouldn't recommend leaving a bowl of water in their cage. You definitely want to keep the toilet seat down or maybe the bathroom door closed, because these guys cannot swim. And I think it's cruelty for owners to put water bowl in their sugar glider cage. That is unacceptable to me, because at the end of the day, when you wake up one day or come home from work and find your sugar glider laying face down in water, you don't realize maybe you should have did a little bit better research than you have, because these guys don't swim. And me personally, I think that's a little bit of cruelty to leave a water bowl in there. For one, to me, they're like cats. Cats clean themselves. So sugar gliders are naturally clean. As far as them with an odor, I don't see them having an odor. Maybe their pee smells a little sweet because of all the fruit that they eat. And in my opinion, human beings, urine will be smell a lot better than it would if we eat fruits a lot also. But I mean, that's all I'm saying is, just be mindful about what you're doing, and do a little bit more research before you get into what you're going to get into. And as I stated earlier in a previous video, that if these guys feel neglected for any reason, or you're not giving them enough attention, or you're not playing with them enough, they feel left out. So yeah, that depression mode will come, and then you're going to wonder why your sugar glider is not eating. So you want to be a little bit mindful about that as well. And I mean, just day-to-day routines, make sure everything is clean, make sure they're fed, These guys, what I do is I feed them twice a day. I feed them before I go to work. When I get off, I get them a treat, and dinner is ready before they go to bed. So I mean, sometimes on the weekend they might get a little bit more treats, 2 treats or whatever, depending on if they're obeying my commands or whatever. What I'm working on now is trying to get them to respond to their name. I know it's hard, but yeah, they also said an iguana will never respond to his name, but that's a lie because I've seen footage of it. So I believe that any animal can respond to their name when called. You just got to be willing to put in the work to do it. But like I said, man, sugar gliders, or they're really known as sugar bears. They're really good animals. You just gotta maintain the time to put in with them. And I mean, they're not really all that bad. I always tell my friends that the scare tactics they do is really funny. I mean, I even mock them. It's like I'm talking to them when I do it. But I mean, it's all in good fun. So I would probably say, again, I can't stress it enough, be more careful in what you choose to give to your pet, and be more careful about how you housing your pet as well. Because like I said, any animal can get sick. A lot of people know what they're doing, but don't know what they're doing. So all I can say is get a proper research. I'm not saying that I'm an expert, and I'm not saying that, I'm right in what I do, because this is my first time actually having sugar gliders. I believe I had them since probably June, since the beginning of the summer, and I've been loving it ever since. They're never by my side unless I'm at work. But other than that, I just want to touch bases on some stuff that I left out from the other video. As you can see, I have them on me right now. See, I mean, there's really not much else to discuss or topic, but I mean, I'm down for whatever. I can answer anything or whatever questions you may have. But other than that, be safe with your animal. Peace.